Wontumi ne cars no a wode koye ayeye semwa wo yokonom ni ade nyina no. Unim say your cars are yakọ wi free Canada.
He has been questioned or he has been invited by Yoko or anybody. Not to be at the party members, faithfuls, as you mobilize you. Yes, we are talking about security implications. Me, I'm talking about it's just a noise.
Na kendo poriata no mo tete mantwa no de. Omo he de ekodo ahwe omo beka so omo baba. Omo di puta drama pra no a. Woni no omo didi atia wo man no omo ye de omo embra no omo be de.
Enti chema Wontumi no bi azumi a Yoko building no mo hu se o hyemu a o ka ne nsem no je se o ya no baba ya o hodi ni nkomo. Ahe Wangana TV message so do comment be ba comment section no like no subscribe na afi wa share ama afofo so ehunu bi. Na enyina ehu bi se enra Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Srimsai Edbetu dwa se chema Wontumi investigation omo ye fa ne ho ai no ma omo suspect se omo abon suspect se waye about fraud causing financial loss to the state and a money laundering. Neno and a fraud moons and some investigation. Any other strand of investigation or more outside Ghana no no more HS a largely international criminal scheme no and a Abbas Nurudina or communication officer Ashanti region NDC. I as appointed as acting CEO of Social Investments Fund. National Security Bureau Chema Wontumi efie no Obeka se Chema Wontumi Exim Bank sika bi kokobo sika bi ni sa no ma no na di kan e ba be kan ene wasa be chirim se sa fraud ni nsensema de ato Chema Wontumi so no cars bia o allege se cars no Chema Wontumi na wo no ho a eno omo di free Canada ni America stolen cars baby o di fire kra no ontua duty ene nsensem bebre e na waka fa ho a don't forget nso se Kwame A+ time a ye kochi Chema Wontumi no obeka se chie no kra di so no no be report ama Chema Wontumi Rolls-Royce in the cars be.
NIB people, when you finish, come and let me also give you some information. I want to me all his Rolls-Royce and all those cars. I'm going to give information on the duty. You, when you got power, you want to jail your brother. You people should go and take the duty for his, and the guy who did the duty for his G-Wagon, his Rolls-Royce. I'm going to do, I have to do a letter.
Enti yebekwa akotie Abbas Nurudin na betodwa said Dr. Bawumia arrange say sureties a Chema Wontumi entimi emiti ye say sika twinchirinchi omde atono so ye 50 million Ghana cedis so the cost kadada no mu 500 billion no akoye say Chema Wontumi aka Yoko ho a onya mpie no Dr. Bawumia ese o arrange no maboa ama watimi emiti sureties no sa so na Farouk Al Wahab say NDC MPP say ya chichi say ya na ya omoye no no hu ni se Chema Wontumi nsensem wi enkosi hwe na Chema Wontumi cars no unya hu bia ye nhwe se de Chema Wontumi cars no esitie some years ago obi showcase kakra ono aso so okoba bia ohwe se de osi ha cars no osi launch ya oko Yoko ho no kra no mo che se Yoko car ni bi kra no sa stolen cars ni bi na ye nhwe no ni ntie Abbas no rudi mra e ba na etie Farouk Al Wahab
Yammo yani akon makakra ya Chema Wontumi fi Bernard Entwibosi akon oko Premier College 1994 and we 1996 no Agri House Dom 7 and no na ene yetu anamo abanifi ya be share nyama kakra we ani so na Bantama Youngster Club platforms na wo UK we in BMW ko han manager say the cars ne mugu ahodo so what you say okay right brand no that's all papa ejana naso another one so nie yeah Benz Chema Wontumi feel your one way on register cra tun say kai esi we minim say the kwa akon dia but sis can baby can you one makoda that's right Chema Wontumi feel anyway latest car so sad ba na sen yan so nie say kasa cars dia just we be baby see Chema Wontumi Bernard Entwibosi akon Ashanti region MPP chairman the car back nso nie V8 that's all another one in the one see the kwa ha ya hweka we nso see bi ni obi ho pa ni obeka cho so koye catfish farming no sa we brufu aka ho Bunyeska. Let's try it. Another one is here. We what kind of price? Jamie, kind of price was a 1952 car. Or classic car or the tour car we are. That's a yakka to her. Wontumi. Fimi aba.
Na Wontumi born in Hawaii no minia. E dey say abrantie bi a wo de canton fee sekoto wi. E na wako gina inspector dan echi e na wo no. Inspector yere be kan wasa bonani so. Ye di gu ne so monti no kro bo di kro yere nkwan so wasa akoka gu. E to no na sam ne de. Ye say ye nya wie.
Ah na de wo keke wo chere mi sei.
O de Wontumi ne cars no a wo de koye ayeye sem wo yokonom ni ade nyina no. Unim say your cars are yako we free Canada.
Where allegation? Bacho whatever man. Where there? Bacho mbo. Me ba.
Me know at the last first time I know kasa ye. Because so Wontumi akodiska wo exam.
Ba. Minimum.
Meba. Ye kasa Wontumi is part of an international organized crime. What you are saying? Wontumi is part of a global car stealing criminal syndicate.
Eno ye kwa do a matter say justice swim sai say e kan ho a omo dia bono but not until the court no
media me to asem ne mu nchine
law
the cars no a ode ya ye mu okrom ha nyina no e cars a wo chama tupa
law bajo
ya no America
law
and kan
law me dia wo kan me kan say medu achini me a me meti hayi me ni ho adanse wuti eti say me ma kwa ma publish eba na chire kokpasa nya no kra I can also be taken on
oh papa me na
Mr. Why
fe enya nsam a waka na no pa nyina na ode ho adanse atu
eti Mr. Wa do why
so obi se ni pe kasa ye be nipa no na asem a waka no no kra wu
eti ubetimi akasa it is alleged say
mate it is alleged that I know
okay me da say
but asem no kra so the alleged di animu one for alleged ni animu no kra
yo
say Wontumi cars no a odi ko ye ni nyina no ye cars aya sha amanfo kutu pa me akowia
eti ena is alleged say ya sha amanfo kutu pa
a car no amfa Ghana port eno ho asem da ho a ye nya dey enkanwie enti Wontumi wa hwe na yoku krama ni bail a wonam kwam no okwa another state agency the fact
eti law menum de me chance we amranim ni wo not until say ye do obi aba mranim ni ye bua say ni kwadu a e de to wo so no yentimi nyina wo enka say nipa no say ni waye
a person is a criminal before he is pronounced as such by any court of competent jurisdiction. Na miracles ka say being condition ye unreasonable when no me ade boni a wo ye no no ho emudro ne ehwe edema obel e na Wontumi ye obi a ye ID for friend no wanko ye ID for friend ba ku mienu miensa wanko
oh but ye din ko ba wo ha no am say
me pa to tie me ebra ohun say national security fo gina me kwan no e na wo free ID no man negotiate say eda edwa da obeba such a person no he is a flight risk.
Oh how
the bail sum ye de beto an accused person treat no ejina boni no awaye no emudro enti Wontumi boni no awaye no sa fraud no a ye ka money laundering no ene global international crime na wa committee no give me the fee say 50 million kwesa na me ni pa ma gine ho
ba menye nsiesie se kase ne kwadu a ye de abono
yo mate na open one be kan sa dia
mate
na nipa mi medi ne ho ya o Dr. Bawumia
are
sa ene obi adi bone it is alleged say nipa ni wi card e wa brochure wa ye fraud wa ye money laundering na Dr. Bawumia wo na wo kodi akagina mu say ye ngine dia ene be ma nipa asusu niama bebre wo mutrim say e bia
me pa so say ya ba obi kwadu na court ni nye ni asem no say yentimi nyina say abɔ ne kwadu ntino kwadu na ya bɔ no na ye ne kwa ntimi obi ankodini akagina mu ma no
enya sa na obi account but obi a wo ya public officer wo free say ye do man to me kesi ye be hye wonsa no ye won kofo bi wo ha nka wonfa wo mfore mo enu ntina of apani asantefo mo amubu mi be ye se kire me wadamfo na me nkire wo suban
de be wo mu de eye party asem
o say
we party asem
party semunti party ni kodi awu a e wo se party ni gina ne
pa ya bo bi kwadu se party ni kodi awu
is that the new normal in people say ne yabo Wontumi kwa do say ene wa for my wa ji o man sika 1.5 paso wa kwaje contract wa anye amanfo kasa the kasa we use ni kasa ya sha amanfo kutupa ama o mako wiewia no wa brotire na nye Dr. Bawumia timi de na nimu be gina ho say ampani ampa ni nuane ampa wonu be di akagina mu say obi a enkeka wa we won ho ye nya no a na je say eniema mienu na beba Ghana fo tirim what I say enye say Dr. Bawumia efo abone so say enkoso a na ebi abone no a Wontumi ye no yi say beneficiary sa nipa bebrebe timi nya sansu ye no
me pa cho na ye wi ni sei ya bone kwadu ba bia Bawumia te sese ya no ono de onimu ni say ye de kwadu na abono court bi en pronounce say wa ye bone A B or C eti ya bone kwadu no an won presume say he is guilty eti mo nko bail
enye ne sana meka but ye wo eniem eti say ye say obi ya bo obi kwadu say bi otun nu bone na bra kwa me wo apo gina ho say bail a ye dia tu ni 3 so no na wo trese na che say e bia na djuma na wo ye no enya wo ne na ya na wo di so mfaso
ene bi so minim say Wontumi nye.
So is it the case of the MPP say and that will be a boni ukroma no your MPP near no matter the boni away no was something for jina netiana and mindset we na kaya to abade ma Dr. Bawumia ko di bebu mine na so mine no yema embra
ba wotie chama Wontumi a wo se ebre na ba se wakasa no o kan se Ghana for mo sorry o muntini ye me san wo national chairman me baba be die na me de be pretumi 2028 agema MPP ntino mo ye me san wo enti e ma clarion call no e ba ye no party no so asori ma se bedwafo asori party no mu kunu ye ni ntefo asori
Wontumi national chairman adwene ni nyina ye adwene bi a wafa ne boni a wadi no na ope ba bi de ne ho abata because you see aboa no ope kokwa ya odi ne ho twitwiri sie Wontumi boni a wa ya onim sa aban ne be ba be di na chinintin na so okọ national chairman enti say
na obi adi boni na akọ national chairman ye nche no send the is not that you know there
na senka edi enti na sabi Wontumi ye nyina ye nim say wakọje kwan $45 million that dey so to akontombra kwan no wa anya sika na so bia be council Exim Bank sika wakọje galamse nom ni ade wa bank ase wo ye na ne aban edu achi a wo say na
it still remains an allegation koprim se court no be asemewi
how do you define an allegation and unti na mremu no ye wo boni bi wo ha your friend is straight liability so ye nya so mu say wo ye sa boni no a one can presume say we
because me wo enkrata bi a kire say baby a already certificate kodu ye highway for ni cocoa board for eko hwe adwuma waye na o mu issue certificate e de man no na wo mu tua bi man o do kwa wo mu tua man no ni wo nko na wo mu tua nipa more than 100
no na make say all those issues and na kwahwe dade so akontombra kwan a yesi e $45 million aye
ti we nu nyina no e be ba wo bra aba court na me pese ye pronounce guilty wa ha
na eye car no a ye ko wiewia efri ba bi de ba no e so obi e sha amanfo kutupa anasa ya bo obi kwa adu say o sha amanfo kutupa e ma omoko wiewia amanfo ka so
me obi bisa say wo ye mranimu ni na sa information a wo ken wo unya no we wadanse we
de sasa ni ensantrofo momo ye modwuma no ye won sem bi wo ha wo kan ye ka utikura won kire ba bi a wunya
ba wo ye an officer of the court.
Papa, me no kasa last week. Me can send be an nya medeja. And then some na bedeja mo we say.
But still, it's an allegation.
But the point I'm making is say, is Wontumi say you say your who car be one why your car a stolen car. If you are seeing na your brand say a stolen car. A police for any need you know. A chairmanship a wo konti. Ye mu ya lingu car no a. It is a
okay.
Aha. Obi ko national chairman. E wo party bi muntia. Oye boni amra ni ni na. Is that the content?
Eti wo ye mra ni ni. Na mpese ye ne se ye ne se still no ano ye kwadu a ye de abo no ai court no be prove.
Sana open unti se me ka sa me de kwadu a ye de adi ani mu. So eno na me ka se e de nti na Wontumi national chairman or for no was a bo NDC. Na ye po bi a ye bete no anya ye betwa MPP a o mo nya modern sorry biwa. E na say ya anchi Bawumia anchi ye bete Canada Japan. because omo dey two main contenders omo na omo ti be ballot paper so na Wontumi no sabi so nyado uti be ballot paper so ana eno na me catch out say this whole national chairmanship agenda no to cover up for his crimes boni a wadi no wonim say Ghana had here say what the boni kra na do ho koso take a party bi ho na ye pe waso pa ti a we party we nti ye me sa we benya utrai dey adidim
ba ye chiri mi ntis obi akoka say ma ye nchene hwehwe ni nsem na mom they are talking about bail conditions
na miracles when na ka say political witch hunting and then na bi mu na ka say political witch hunting Wontumi no anka say national time I will be dinti na oyesa na wo ya Ashanti regional time I say the last time I kai no kran wo lose support in the dia na kire say wo na wo be MPP wo this kran ye be pese obi so Wontumi be ba be MPP ni because MPP enne no emre bi a cham ni ehunu say MPP nim before any study and the Monampo party during the days of Peter Lajete nomne Odo Sykes nomne DH Mensa nomno. Now MPP before some cranwa. Who say a party at Sabi 1 year dear Nimuno Elimde. But now MPP party no Sabi as the better Obama or Mabedika a yakandemia. You must show say Utmi dia Utmi Yakabase, and that is how come people like Wontumi nom ever sorry say or national chairman. You get a point. Don't put the MPP for them. But some be a Wontumi Biano, the political ambitions, no, and fan who be there. And the bonny away dinner running in the ADA. Say you be a penalty dia, and then you bet Bawumia not a better candidate Japan. Because I'm the main contender. It is after media, Brakwami, young fan day.
Fan to buy.
Baby. Number 7 one more so among parliament because you say Yabo Wontumi Dunumtino. Omonko parliament no omo and shema omo free mu so anyday entosini na nra asa ya mekae no asanyo markings boni pimpini sa odi animu kinkinkim 1 hour kra wani ewo ho enti na MPP fo no ye settings no omo ye ade bi obi eye bia na ye to achieve a certain political end by ye musa ye ho say ya mekae no emre di kan ya chi obi aye this bail condition like this actually so and emre di kan ni ana there be and the MPP there were a lot of people you get bonny away dinu near the who bail ayday at 3 so now record do ayday bo Wontumi ne niam aye so aye no a sani America no for 60 million
ne charge sheet no wan ka so wan bi
na was so who charge sheet you ka so obi aye fraud you ma generate
you bo obi kwa bi so obi aye fraud
obi aye alert so aye fraud why money laundering or you part of an international criminal syndicate who be say you money ketwa Abraham I see. You know, yeah, can say MPP for Munina na we there. Then you can the Ukrainian play guy. No one say and Rechi Yano, court a warrant and so say former governor of Bank of Ghana or not on someone who ye kaka
Dr. NS.
Yes.
Court a warrant say on your day.
A fire of fast or no to me cash because over 70 billion and my Ghana city. A stable group a be a true, you know. And court of Frenomra Miano, Nakano Poriata no more, Motse Manchiano dear, or more the airport and Mobacat or Mumaba, or Moody Pusadrama Pranoa. One in or more did yet see our mind or Moya de Omo and Brano Mobede, EBD. By Yaya the Air Casania, and Ghana upon a Casania MPP for because any Nipa MPP media, Sabi, or said after Wada, or the Nukoshini Kanika Democrat one chin and Yale Ghana upon the Air Casa, and Negana Yomra. Emrano so will be a bonia, Emrani ni. It will be bia, why a boni, the Emrani ni dia, and will be Mecassa a political witch hunting. There are MPP people on one sorry crab, Bayabaso say, and Yama Wontumi and Ukrum Hanone, Abaya Soria, or Nini, Ubi to say, Lestete, Ubi to say, poor mine, and no name, a chief, more Munina, sorry, or Munina MPP for, almost anyone to me a day. That is how. Moving forward, no, ye proceed as a country. Obi bia wadi boni bia mrane ne be de
ebedi mate
wo ya won so o party abanfie nwotwe nipa wo ko boni punu mu kra won fie no ene ye so ono afa ska no anya bia ni na so de o ti be kwa kwaje atrema ene ye to je wara ba ya we are urging the security agencies no so mo mamra enya de enya adwuma obi ani wa o ye de obrom da so ewu kroma edi so obi ba yoko ho no be ya kakabensem no be ye niama enfra onu ankata kra na wo semra ene ne die
mami na wasa no pay
Enti Farouk Al Wahab a react wachechi say Ghana yen ni abamu ana politician yen ye mobo pa.
Sir Chairman Wontumi, today he has been questioned or he has been invited by Yoko or anybody. Not to be at the party members faithfuls as you mobilize you. Yes, we are talking about security implications. Me, I'm talking about it's just a noise. It's just only a noise because President Rawlings, let us not forget, during President Kufuor time, there was an attempted arrest, an invitation of Rawlings to come to the Kanda, a national security now, so a BNI office. That Kanda BNI office was an office that was established by Rawlings himself. One, to do good things and to do bad things. It was used also to punish some of also his opponents. When he was called to come in, NDC also mobilized themselves. Unfortunately, one of my friends, who is a Nima Bekas Ubiko, he ended up being shot. NDC formed up to now, the gentleman Nima and then Obiensi, the gentleman's wife and the kids, nobody, and he died and he never came back. He's yet to resurrect, nobody knows. So what I'm trying to say is that Wontumi not in isolation. He is not the first and you'll be the last. Regime Bibaba, activists. Whether it is genuine or not genuine, for me, I'm saying on the basis that and the two political divide, MPP and DC. So the kind of heat, the kind of arguments, the kind of political talk when in opposition or when in power, they see when the power turns. Any other thing, even genuinely, one would read political meaning into it, and that is what we're experiencing. Either than that, I'm quoting, say, Mr. Wontumi, I share the videos, and then in media, I watch social media. Anyhow, or Kenyama or Kafa, today's president, Mahama Ehu, any the threats, any the call it the anger and the boastful arrogancy. I'll put it. And I'm putting it to me a cast across. NDC have done worse also the same time. Different activists. But who says a power son? I dare say you feeling say Obi using the power against you and you've done nothing wrong. That is why we find ourselves in. My advice is that the party mobilizing themselves. And then Wontumi on his radio, as you said, I'm sorry, Ghana phone sorry, President Mama say, President Mama yes. Is it fair or not? He would also contend and say, security agencies in are you telling me or listeners telling me not security agencies in your Juma now? But because the innocent person and the Korea will join and nobody mobilizes to go and defend. Okay. Obian also could defend it. In case scenario, you come a judge a sentence 19-year-old boy to 30 years imprisonment. Because no judge and say you before say a big boy in the case, but none guy 1 week. In the silent the best boy in real judge. Your human rights will come. Has Siraj gone there to talk about say it's just only 19 years? Ojani knew 400 Ghana cedi. Who speaks for that person? So if somebody will sit in a car, Accra, mobilize themselves all over and go to Yoko, wherever Wontumi is being investigated. Now, we have also issues which I'm saying, pregnant women that for in Sawam, abroad they can only 50 Ghana cedi, they are jailing in 2 years. Who is speaking for those people? So this kind of politics that comes into place, a political figure, if you say and touching or not. And I'm speaking not only in favor of either MPP or NDC, all of them alike. You cannot use power. I'm not into geologist and I'm not EPA activist or a member. I'm not a PMMC and I'm in the Ghana Minerals Commission. Anything to do with certifications, I don't care. But if there's an issue, say, okay, Mr. Wontumi, money illegally, this should not actually be a big deal. The investigation process can go on. But I also ask the security agencies, why maybe Wontumi at this time? Why him? There are a lot of several miners in the country. Why is he also being picked and the other miners not being picked? Is he the only person mining in the forestry or who perceived to have been mined in the forestry? That is also hard to say. Engineering comes and it boils on the fact that you do me, I'll do you. That is the Ghanaian politics, the way that we are going. And it's very dangerous. And Mr. Wontumi tone it down, not subscribing on him. into investigation. Now I'm claiming one regime in who said the Amade mission because right from police station or say politically motivated. Me, I disagree with any politician. NDC, time, Alhaji Osman, BNI, National Security. Osman saw a civil sentence. So also also which government put him himself? A MPP government. Abu Pele, he went to jail sentence. On and on and on. You bet my examples, both parties from their yomo. Which one is politically motivated and which one is natural? Obi or tell one say, I mean, no, you need it. Say, case about the any case in the natural case. Any police in good. That is how we treat ourselves as a country. Said, yeah, politicians are run into me. That is what Wontumi is crying. And that is what others NDC people also cried. Said, be a politician. If you cross media, me get you. If you cross media, me sell. But papa, it's like area. Obi no ope. And yes, of course, I will kukunu. But you found with liberty within that 5 minutes now. You see, I do watch at all. You source, I do on. Something comes into your mind. Said, your liberty, your liberation, your freedom have been curtailed. And that is the fear. Obi on the calculus, my phone. It is like that. And I didn't know you be an organ and find you. Now, maybe I said, yes, national security, BNI, Yoko, they can handle it professionally without creating any drama. But then, Wontumi also said, what declare was stand, they said, why that kind of a route? Why that kind of say, who ignited the passions and then also creating fears? You don't do that in a country. Maybe they may show. Obi can say one single politician can plug this country into any chaos. Tell him or her, say it is not possible. And I've given several different definitions and I've given a lot of lectures. Say this particular country, Greenbelts. The Greenbelt area, I say, you are the most enhanced progressive cross-tribal marriage.
Okay.
Cross-tribal marriage, Ghana, tribal baby. No politician can push this country. And I've also said the Ghana security agencies, which are condemned all the time, said the security profile of the country, they should bring it. They don't have it. They don't have the security profile. Yes,
they don't have the data.
They don't have the security profile because under President Kufuor, the most wanted man in Ghana was a common criminal.
Okay.
President Kufuor, 2005. Atayi Ofibuachi was the original commander at Accra. 500 Ghana cedis.
500 cedis now they coach Obiani profile, the criminal profile was
wanted. And then the profile, the most wanted man in Ghana at the time. Sought for, looked for by President Kufuor's regime was Atayi. Sky they continue 500 Ghana cedis. When we say Ghana, Obi through the military uniform, no. When we say your police presence, our military, our bush, no. And I've asked several times, so our country security profile, only one man will be silent. Only said, Ghana police service in uniform 10, I register officers in Young Ghana military intelligence and family said, there was soldiers go my defected, What about immigration? What about prison service? Paramilitary and then all the security community. You don't have it. And the bush in associate a clear bush. Well, it is clear bush. Because land Ghana no and your government the idea. The Ghana country land no, it belongs to the chiefs. It belongs to the town. And our Hinana Chama the subjects. And the me come from Nasa will be now no military uniform. And once I'm about Gongon, about the flashing out in the Ghana, so the need to meet them cool.
Okay.
Police in them cool. And the country cannot have a civil unrest. That will bust the whole country into crisis. And why would you let somebody's issue? Why would it turn out to be a party issue? Why does it become a political campaign? Why does it become political speeches? It's because NDC for Yebi, and the ministry of Doom time soon Yebi. And the time and MPP positive NDC for me. Which government arrested Kokwe at the time? Was that not MPP? At the end of the day, they drafted him to be an MPP supporter. This is the beauty of the country.
Okay.
This is the beauty of the country. Talking about doing campaign more or less indirectly, speaking for MPP government. Exactly. And the politicians are trying to say, and I'm saying, your boots are clear. What I say? Obi na wetin say you cool. Any cassette I show my broadcast legally. Your friend say, "College consider any mikaso mo ko roll his name go and pass it down here." No, just common cassette. Just when you are party team or name the small boys. Police one million part on here sell cool. One question not one. Nameless none a chiwo mo wi because of done by there or quite another boys who will woman baby say. And no fair am simple for when you are ebe cool be your friends FS base. So this country, you can't hide, you can't do anything. We have a self-security. Politicians, when they are arrested, no one subscribe for investigation. No security of authorities. Someone will be a money looking like the political affiliation and our channel. By the end of the day, between you and I, Wontumi issue like Wyoming can't issue.
Hey,
like any other political high-profile cases. What's that?
Wooding.
Baba, say you say MPP so day. Mr. Puni Echo Court.
Okay, go board.
8 years. 8 years. Edu Babino. Not yet state witnesses of states against Mr. Puni. They turn out even to criticize the state. That is the beauty of it. At the end of the day, he said, and the MPP also know. Government man, they didn't find anything. So it's possible that NDC will not find anything with Mr. Wontumi. So why the noise? Mr. Police also one fair politician, one fair NDC, or but until this kind of massive demonstration. All this boils down on the fact that MPP and DC, we the innocent Ghanaians, we are saying that Wontumi Ekoma, my name can't say so. Sabi Accra Wojina Street so Airtown, Dodge. These boys at the end of the day. Onu kojina okwa na are hokwa keke okwa na onu send 5 cities dia mane mame e omomo sa kran kwa Wontumi recruit nation army to Congo Wontumi recruit no say IGF army Wontumi chene say dey ko change so onye rebellion Wontumi ye terrorists. No terrorist group had been formed on the basis of Ghana. Over crisis about election 2017 MPP vigilante NDC force TB when election na Nanado sworn in no. There was an issue of vigilantes, Echo Court, Echo Yedidi. Papa said she was in him.
No, I'm opium for free. Court for no.
Yes. Some of us said a nonsense use of that word because vigilante be no about time. SSH, court, Ebico Court. That was no more massive vigilantes. Obi Okona na ire ne mamina ne so for DHT. Vigilante was awful. Vigilante or imam out of court. At the end of the day, then going to so we should stop creating this kind of unnecessary heat. It is not right.
Abusua adwumapa on demand service for na eka say adwumapa on demand for say o pese wo di dwuma bia nkankanga fo am wabrochire a obehia nipa didi so ya tilers anansa building constructors fashion designers chese auto mechanic bia wo pese wo di say dwuma bia ma no obekọ ye app no so na wa download adwumapa on demand service ayesa so abekọ www.adwumapa-on-demand-service eno so bekọ ko hu edwumadi edi nyina ni trimopo nyina ne se ye boawo ema wo kwakofo obi ana wodi dwuma bi a nipa a wo kwakofa no esansa wonnim na kira kwan bia nti no to bi kura nipa na gisika wie wo pen he na hu no adwumapa on demand fo aba ama sa ha nyina afiri ho esansa obi bia ya de be ma wo so woni dwuma bia ma no ya ye background checks ehu se sa nipa yi onim ne wo ye enye kwanche trefa ni bia wonim de wo ye ene ye fa no edna ma wo na ni December ko omu ne se onipa bia de be ma wo a odi be di dwuma bia no sabe background no sem anase si ebu afaso pa dia enya de besi na wanso san nim se sabe ko soja mumpo a ye wo military police ono so soja ni ochi soja ni eno me kire mu se eye adwumapa on demand for no ye san so supervisors a abre nyina no omko rounds eko check se adwuma na nipa no de beda ye no sa pepepe ene ye no na se adwumapa on demand de omama adwuma no aye simple se bibi ni ena onte ase ampacho no wafa numbers no aye gusuo no no wafre